What it do, Dad Mod's crew? Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you guys are all doing good. Appreciate you coming by. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that bell right off the rip. Want you guys here for these watch parties, man. They're a good time, and we're doing one for every round of the Super Duper Motorcycle Series. Every round except for East Rutherford. Your boy's gonna be there in the flesh. So I will be doing some streaming from my phone, but we won't be doing an actual watch party. So outside of that, we're not going to miss a race, man. So subscribe, turn on the bell so you guys know when we go live and you can come kick it with us. It's a good time. But yeah, man, just some takeaways from Motown. Detroit Supercross 2023. What a wild night. What an absolutely wild night in the 450 class anyways. 250s was pretty straightforward, I guess. Besides, well, the obvious Deegan Smith drama that we've all seen a gajillion videos about this week. We've already talked about that. I'm not going to bother this video. Pretty normal main event outside of Thrasher and Deegan's passes on J-Mart. J-Mart had an amazing ride. Really pumped for Jeremy. It looks like he's really starting to build to be that guy again. Maybe not winning, but he's definitely in the fight again. You can't argue that. He looks really good. Super pumped for him, man. He's such an awesome guy. And, but yeah, Hayden, second podium of the year. Congrats to him. That was incredible. Thrasher rode really good. Hayden was catching him, but it's hard to tell if it was Thrasher just kind of settling in for second or if he was still pushing. It's hard to tell, but Hayden was definitely catching him towards the end of the moto. I heard Jeremy Croker and the other management at Star talking about it. But regardless, awesome ride by them. Hunter, I mean, what can you even say, man? Another great start, another dominant moto. Just nobody has anything for the kid, man. What can you say? Awesome, awesome ride. Incredible season. He's just about got this thing in the bag. It would take something pretty wild for him to not close the deal at this point. But it is moto. You never know. A lot of human error possibilities in moto from both the rider, the machinery that they're riding on. I hate when people call dirt bikes machinery. And I just did it. So, whoosh. But yeah, man, pretty straightforward night, 250 wise, outside of that heat race, which was, looking back at it, I mean, bro, chill out, guys. It was quite literally nothing. I will say, and I said this in the Deegan video that I made, the Deegan Smith video, really, really bummed for Jordan. He works way too hard. He has worked way too hard to get a ride like a Star ride. He definitely has the speed when he's on two wheels. That crash tag has haunted him his whole career. So I think it fired him up. Not so much that it was his teammate or that Hayden did anything necessarily that ticked him off. I just think he was mad that he let it get the better of him. Not just in that moment, but for the rest of that heat race. It bled into the LCQ. Just that whole chain of events. It was really unfortunate. He's very out of it now points-wise, which is a bummer. All three Star guys were kind of jousting for third in points, which is a big deal. A big, big deal. At that level, to podium in points is a big deal. And now, my second big bummer of the night, Max Anstey. So bummed for Max, man. He's another guy. How can you not like Max? I get that his answers could be a little lengthy at times, but he's such an awesome dude, man. And he's very honest, which in this day and age, what more can you ask from an athlete, a pro athlete? I will say, shout out to all those guys. The bike skill in that entire field is so nuts, man. The fact that didn't take out 8 guys is remarkable. I don't know if you saw the actual incident. If not, go back and watch it. Where Max went down and what his bike did afterwards. Just huge shout out to everybody that made it through that without getting taken out. But yeah, end result. Really, really bummed for Max. He had such an awesome season going for himself. I do think he still has a very good chance of getting second in points, right? He's always up front. He definitely has shown he has the speed to run up front. I would not count him out of second in points. If not third in point, podium in points is very much still a reality, a possibility anyways for Max. But yeah. Outside of that, pretty straightforward night. Huge shout out to Hunter, Nate, and Hayden. back-to-back weeks with 2 star bikes on the podium and the HRC guy just whooping on everybody. The 450s, though. Good Lord. Fireworks. I mean, this class has been just nuts for weeks now. For weeks. The first couple weeks of the East Coast, the 250s kind of stole the show. These last few weeks, that has not been the case, man. These 450s have been nuts. That watch party was so epic, man. My heart was going nuts for Kenny and Indy, like nuts. But this was different. AP, Mr. Do It for Dale. Like, hey, AP doesn't have a single hater in the world. You can't convince me otherwise. How could you not like that dude? How could you not love that dude? You know what I mean? Ugh. 3 corners, man. I mean, really 2 corners, but if you include where he went down, 3 corners away. God. 3 corners away from his first ever 450 Supercross win. Just absolutely heartbroken. Heartbroken. And then the emotion that followed. Ugh, that was really hard to watch. Really, really hard to watch. I want it for the guy so bad, but I absolutely think it's coming for him. He's been up there more often than not this year. Kind of low-key in the fight without being a talking point. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? But he's been up there. It's coming. It's coming. And we got supposedly a mutter this weekend. Woo! Not excited about that. Hopefully that's not the case. But if it is the case, I like AP's chances. I like AP's chances if it is muddy. But we'll see. Just absolutely gutted for him. The whole moto world, certainly not just me. We are all so gutted for Aaron. But it's coming. I firmly believe that. And then you kind of you swallow the fact that we just saw Mr. Do It for Dale go down and not seal the deal. You find a way to get past that and you're like, all right, well, if anybody in that class deserves to get a win that way, it's the 23, right? It's kind of hard to argue that. If anybody deserves a freebie, it's Chase. And then even that, an hour later, wait, what? 7 points? I mean, I get it. Look, I get it. I've seen all your comments on all these posts. Yes, he absolutely broke the rule, okay? Relax. I get it. You cannot tell me that that had absolutely any effect on how that race ended. The kid came from 10th, man. Cooper, Eli, all those guys were up front the whole moto, and they couldn't do anything with it. AP was yarding them. Chase came from 10th, got by all the best guys, and then was catching AP. Until AP went down, Chase was catching him. He definitely would not have caught him for the win. Absolutely no chance. But he was like yarding everybody else. To say that that double made any difference in who won? No. Sorry, Cooper. We all heard you, buddy. No, that had absolutely no difference on who won that race. But it is what it is, man. I've heard everybody's points. And my whole take on it was, yes, he did break the rule, but why is nobody asking, why was the light on that double? I get it, the double before. I get it. But Dean was before the big double. And especially when Chase got to it, Dean was literally, if you watch Chase hit it, Dean was literally on his bike riding away. And they just kept the whole thing on too long. Before you disagree with me, Dean Wilson was the cause of the red cross flag. Dean Wilson got on his bike, went back around, got on the track, and had to roll his own red cross flag because the light was still on. Like, come on, man, you know? And I get it. Nobody else doubled it behind Chase. I get it. But it's just such a bummer, man. Like, at that checkered flag, Chase was 10 points down. Eli was 3 points down. Hold on a minute here. This is anybody's deal again. And then an hour later, oh, by the way, Chase is definitely out of it. Barring some freak ordeal. You might get Eli to have a weird night between now and Salt Lake. Or you might get Cooper to have a weird night. The chances of them both having a massive point loss night between now and Salt Lake, Chase is all but out of it, which is a huge bummer. He was absolutely, I don't care what anybody says, 10 points down with 7 rounds to go. This is Moto, bro. Just like I said about Hunter, this is Moto. You never know. 10 points down, he was definitely still in it. 17? Yeah, it's, he's just out there trying to win races now because the title's pretty much history at this point. It's an Eli Cooper show, but I will say, from a fan's perspective, if I was going to pick, if I could only pick 2 guys to have a 2-horse battle for the championship, it would be Cooper and Eli, right? It would be, because consistency, resilience, racecraft, knowledge, speed, all of those things, tenacity, those are the 2 guys that I would want to see go head to head. And we got it. We got it with 7 rounds to go. So I think tracks like Atlanta favor Eli, and then, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do think this thing is going to go all the way to the last round, to the last main event, and we should be very excited about that. So anyways, that's kind of my takes on it, I guess. Congrats to Chase on winning the moto. Congrats on an amazing ride. I understand he didn't get 26 points, which is also, they need to fix that rule. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. He lost more points because he won the race. Like, he literally would have been better off letting people pass him and finishing. I haven't done the math, but because it's a 3-point gap from first to second, and it's 2 positions worth of points that you lose plus an additional 2. The gap from first to second is 3 points versus the gap to, like, from 5th to 6th is 1 point, right? So he literally lost more points because he won the race, which is kind of wild. I think they should fix that. They've already adjusted it once. They used to strip the win from you completely. Dungey, I believe it was. Dungey did the same thing, and they actually took the win, threw the whole moto world into a frenzy. So they don't take the win anymore, but that's, yeah, they changed it to this point mathematic deal. So that's what it was. 7 points. I think that's a little wild. Completely just takes the kid out. That double took him out of the championship, which is just crazy. As a race fan, I don't care what your opinion is. If you're happy that a double during a race that he clearly was just head and shoulders above everybody else besides maybe the 7, that, I don't know, that's just kind of corny to me, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, congrats to Chase on an amazing ride. Congrats to Cooper, another podium, and congrats to Eli, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good on a weekend when it looked like a guy was gonna get his first ever win. It's just the 3 normal guys on the podium yet again. Kind of funny. I take that back. Not funny. Not funny. Okay, I literally was almost in tears for Aaron, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, let's all pray we don't have a mutter in Seattle. Not a fan of Supercross mutters. It takes the Supercross out of Supercross for me. I don't know. I mean, it's still racing, but it's just feet out, dog paddling. Not a fan. So I really hope that's not the case. Time will tell. We got the West Coast back. We got Jet Lawrence winning every race. If I had to put any money on it, I would love to see RJ and Cameron have something to say about that, or maybe even Pierce. Enzo, I'd love to see Enzo get a podium or 2, but we'll see, man. Let me know what you guys think's going to happen in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the Chase penalty. Let me know what you were feeling for Aaron. I appreciate you guys watching, man. Again, subscribe, turn on that bell, hit the like button for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, peace!